This lady is a stranger and has no clothes on. A strange lady in your flat is always difficult to you and always obvious to your wife. A strange lady gets into your flat quite easily, like a strange object into your eye. Inside in the flesh, but out very slowly. So Mr. Novak had the choice of two possibilities. First, to refuse. Can you do that, Mr. Novak?
It's impossible.
Or to let her in.
Impossible.
Oh, please, please.
You better come in.
Situation with two possibilities is always difficult. That's why it is a tragedy. If take Hamlet, for instance, Hamlet Shakespeare, you know, to be or not to be, a fille, sau, un fille. That's why it is a tragedy. If there are several alternatives, you get a comedy. But Mr. Newman had no time to think. Hamlet did. A prince has a lot of time to think as long as he stays a prince. But does prince knows such a situation? So he refused to let her in, leave her in the corridor, half naked, awkward situation, plus in a trap, to let her in, when we know that his wife is coming back. So now you have to decide. It's no more longer his fate, it's yours. It is your lady, your neighbor who is trying to get in, and it is your wife who is coming back. As to the ladies, they must reverse the situation with all consequences and possibilities, of course. So, right now, the green button says, not let her in, the red one, let her in. Voting, you know, so we will switch the computers on, and you've got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop! And I am really curious. Kinoautomat, tell us what's the result. The winner is... Oh, Mr. Novak, the majority has chosen that you should let your neighbor in. So please go.
Oh, thank you.
Afternoon. Please.
Oh!
Oh my God! It's Mrs. Sobeder.
So I see.
Now, please, don't jump to conclusions. It isn't at all what you imagine. Mrs. Sobeder! Mrs. Sobeder! Would you be so kind as... Have you seen my wife by any chance? Martha!
Darling. I was doing the ironing and suddenly there was a ring at the door. Mr. Novak was kind enough to let me come in because I had no clothes on.
I wasn't expected home until 6.
Mr. Spovener, be reasonable.
I'd never have found out what was going on here.
You must be...
Well, what is it?
I was, well, all right. Thank you.
Mr. Spovener,
I'm set my attitude, Mr. Novak. You will go.
Martha,
Just a minute.
I'm cold!
Martha, you're cold.
I mean,
Martha,
I'm
quickly, Listen.
Martha, Martha, he called her. Oh, this, yes. He called her and his voice was full of valor, but in vain. She's gone. And where did she go? Where do women go in such a situation? Home to mothers. By now, his neighbor, Mrs. Svoboda, is in his flat. So it's another terrible situation. Yeah. She enters the flat. She walks down the corridor. She goes to the mirror. She maybe wants to refresh her face. She is very nervous. So what she's doing right now is, oh, what's that? Why doesn't he use an electric razor? Oh, habits die hard. By now, Mrs. Novak is with her mother, and she also enters the bathroom, and oh, you see, even her mother doesn't have this electric razor. Terrible things are happening here and over there too. So now you have to decide. You have your wife in a strange flat and a strange lady in your own flat. So the green button says to follow his wife, the red one to help Mrs. Svoboda, the neighbor. Once again, green button says to follow his wife, the red one help Mrs. Svoboda, the neighbor. Switch on the computers, and you've got 10 seconds again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And Kinoautomat, count it please, and tell us, are here good partners or helpers to the neighbors? Oh, husbands and partners in Cluj. Thank you. So, Mr. Novak, majority has chosen that you will follow your wife.